yes, oh yes, oh yes, this honorable commission is now in session pursuant to adjournment. May God bless this country and God bless this county. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Harrison, do you mind giving our invocation this evening?
Pray with me, please. Our Father in heaven, we thank you for this day, for the many blessings that you have bestowed upon us. We thank you, Lord, for this county, for this state in which we live, that you've allowed us to be born and be a part of. We thank you, Lord, most of all for salvation. And we thank you, Lord, for this time of year that we get to celebrate the birth of your dear Son who came to this low place, Father, to provide for us a Savior. We ask you to forgive us for our sins. We ask you to guide us tonight, lead, guide, and direct us as we try to conduct the business of this county. May we do it with a spirit of love and unity, Father. Pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let's go ahead and take the roll here.
Each commissioner record your presence.
Okay, we've got plenty of people for a quorum. So there are only a couple people who aren't here that I wasn't really expecting. I know Mr. Ring, Mr. Teachner, Mr. Klein, Mr. Moss, Mr. Wright may have, I can't recall, but I know they informed me, and I know Mr. Pomeroy, Mr. Lamberth, and Ms. Boyd, and Ms. Bergdorf. I'm not quite sure about Mr. Brown, but he may have. But regardless, we do have a quorum. Regardless, it's only 14. It still requires motions will still require 13 votes for a majority, and I guess if there's something that requires a 2/3 vote, we can't get a positive on that one tonight. Other than that, let's looks like in the queue. Let's get the regular agenda approved. I will call on Mr. Mansfield.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I would like to add the term limits to the agenda under legislative.
Yeah, we'll need 16 votes eventually, but we'll go ahead and try to add that one. Let's put that on the board. This is to add the term limits resolution. That fails. Mr. Schoaf.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have two items that I'd like to remove from the budget. I think everybody would be happy to do this. One, just because I think there are some questions on it, is the $5,000 for the fence. I would just like to take that and defer that back to budget. The $5,000 for the fence to Brown House. I'd like to move that one back to budget. I don't know if we want to take votes on this.
Any objections to that? Yes, there are objections. So we're just setting an agenda right now.
I'm happy to speak to the rationale.
Yeah, let's leave that on there.
Okay, that's fine.
What's your other one?
And the other one is I'd like to remove the 2512-16 authorization of $41,000 transfer for highway department.
Okay, we'll strike that from the agenda. Is that going back to budget? Yes, going back to budget. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to remove from the budget, and so there's a motion to object to that. Okay. You want to vote no to remove it? Okay. So there will be, let's put this on the board to remove it. Item 2512-16. Yeah.
Each commissioner record your vote.
Okay, all right. All right, Mr. Jones on the agenda?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had a question for the budget on some verbiage on one of the items on there, if it should be changed before we adopt it, or if it's going to be explained later on. And if I could just ask the budget chairman if it's going to be explained later on. It's item number 5 under budget 2512-19, the verbiage on that. I just wanted to understand what that was, if it was a typo or.
Mr. Shove?
Yeah, I can speak to it now, but I was going to speak to it later. I had several questions on this. The short story is that we have received, it was a one-time receipt of funding, and so we received that last fiscal year. The way it's currently written, that we've also receiving it this year. So we need to remove it so that we haven't received it twice. It's a one-time.
Yeah.
It's a one-time fund. We're not removing the appropriation toward the one-time appropriation toward the Brown House.
We're moving
We're removing a duplicate.
Yeah, there's duplicate entry. One needs to be removed.
Of revenue.
Okay.
It's not removing the funding.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So it needs to stay the way it's written. Gotcha.
Correct. All right. So, and then I want to move on my report of the chair, item 3 to the end of the agenda, the public notice, and I guess that's 3 and 4 to the end of the agenda. The public notice was issued before we changed our meeting to 6 p.m., so it says 7 p.m. So, law director, whatever time we can get to it, if it's not quite 7, we'll just go ahead and roll with it. But we'll move that to the end I'll just do that under commissioner announcements. That will be one of my announcements there. Ms. Janung on the agenda?
Thank you, sir. Under the budget, where it says 2512-20, I have a question for the budget director. Approved distribution to nonprofit charitable organization, is that just to allow them to move forward on dispersing, or are we going to know what, who, and when?
Which one?
We need to get to that. It wasn't removed.
Number 6. Because that's pretty vague.
The approved distribution to nonprofit?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand.
The details should be in the packet,
I didn't
but
see it. Maybe I'm
is it?
blind.
Oh, did not get in there? Yeah, we'll go through that in detail when we get there.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and put a vote on our regular agenda. No. Is there a motion on the agenda? All right. We got a motion and a second. Sorry. All right. Let's put that on the board as amended.
Each commissioner record your vote.
Okay. That does not get enough votes, so we do not have an agenda. All right. Okay, hold on one second. There was something that needs to get done tonight, the notaries? We do need the notaries. Okay. We do need the notaries done, so So we don't have an agenda, but, yeah,
Unless you amended the agenda to that one item.
okay. I'll entertain a motion. Okay, so is there a motion to amend the agenda to just, okay, motion and second, let's put it on the board.
Each commissioner records your vote.
All right, there are several items that need to be addressed tonight. But if we can't approve the agenda, we'll just go ahead and adjourn. But Mr. Nguyen?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to include notaries, also to include the authorization of the monument for the Jethro Sumner Courthouse, along with our 2026 commission dates, and also to, I believe, somewhere in here we have magistrates.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me clarify what is needed
That's it. Nope.
before we make that motion, if you don't mind.
We'll strike the magistrates because it's on the consent agenda. So a motion to amend the agenda to just the notaries, the 2026 meeting dates, and then the authorization of the Jethro Sumner Monument at the courthouse.
You said the magistrates.
Non-discrimination. Where's the non-discrimination?
Okay. So just as info, the law director highly recommends that we also entertain on the agenda the bond for Ms. Browning, the magistrates, and the non-discrimination renewal of that, which is something that we have to renew on an annual basis. So,
Mr. Chairman, so some of those items are on the consent agenda, so do we need to amend it to include the consent agenda? I'm happy to do that as well. I'll just amend my motion, I haven't got a second yet, to
Yeah.
include the consent agenda, notaries, and the other items I mentioned, Jethro Till Sumner Monument, and the commission dates.
is Ms. Browning's on there, the consent?
It's on the consent agenda, item number 2.
Okay. So, okay, all three of those are consent. Okay. All right, so then your motion is notaries, the 2026 meeting dates, the Jethro Sumner, not sure which one that is, and then consent agenda.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's the motion. There was a second. Okay. Let's, yeah, there's a point of information, Mr. Harrison. No, they'll come next month. All right, so there's a motion and a second. There's several people in the queue here. Mr. Rogers, would you like to make is it on this motion? All right, go ahead, sir.
For the amendment, I'd like to add budget 2512-18 to go ahead and appropriate the repair for an ambulance so we can continue our duties here in the county for ambulance service, please.
Okay. Since you're second, I'm just going to change your original motion since you made that motion. So we're adding the ambulance to this motion here.
And then also, Mr. Chairman, under legislative, 2512-14, to approve that interlocal agreement, ECD and ECC with Sumner County. Need to get that added as well. And, Mr. Chairman, since we're under a time crunch for legislation through the state, 2512-12, MOA with the City of Gallatin Fast Track Water Grant. People in my district need water.
All right, so I'm adding to Mr. Nguyen, since he's second here, I'm going to add to his motion the interlocal and the MOA with the City of Gallatin. All right, Mr. Schoaf?
Well, since we're adding stuff, I mean, I don't think any of this is going to pass. It's silly, but
There's being an amendment.
I know, and I'm going to make another amendment to appropriate the $724,685 for building, build out of courtroom C, and the remove the revenue appropriation of $580. This is just a housekeeping thing. $582,717 for the Brown House.
Okay. There's an amendment now, so let's there's an amendment here that's different from the motion to add, which items here? 2512-19
And 17.
and 17. 2512-17 and 19. Oh, you're good with that too? Okay. All right, so that's the main motion then. Mr. Mansfield?
What are the required ones you said, Mr. Law Director? Consent, notaries, and was there one or two more?
Can you get,
I guess I need that. We need notaries, the non-discrimination policy. We really need the bond for Ms. Browning, the judicial magistrates. And the meeting dates, I think, are time sensitive for this month.
So you said the notaries, bond for finance director, magistrates, and what was the other one? The non-discrimination?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to move to make an amendment to only approve those items for the agenda. The bond, the notaries,
motion.
the non-discrimination, the bond for the finance director and the magistrates. Those 4 items only. That's my motion.
okay, there's a motion and a second. Let's put that on the board. Okay, on this amendment? Yes. Okay. And you want to speak on this one? Okay.
I might be okay with this, but I would like to get a couple questions answered first. So I want to go down the list, and if anybody can answer this. So with the MOA with the City of Gallatin, are we at risk of losing these funds if we don't vote on this today? I would like to know that question, and I've got other questions, but.
It's my understanding that there are some time-sensitive
Yeah.
components to this.
I mean, does that mean time-sensitive like March or time-sensitive like end of year? Very different.
End of year.
Okay, got it. Then I can't be for this.
No one else in the queue. Let's put that on the board. This is Mr. Mansfield's amendment.
Each commissioner record your vote.
Okay. So that fails. Ms. Janong?
Yes, sir. I'd like to make an amendment to all the other amendments, I guess, there's so many, to add the 25-112-10 under Health and Emergency Services for volunteer behavioral health, ratify prior execution of the MOU with volunteer behavioral health, extremely important for our mental health.
Okay, so that goes back to the main motion. Okay. So The motion here, that's 2512-10. All right. Yeah, we're back on Mr. Wins. Mr. Shove?
I move to just approve the agenda as originally amended.
Do what?
I move to approve the agenda. The amendment to Mr. Wins is to add everything back on there, minus the amendments that you made. That's my motion.
He's made an amendment here to basically change it back to what we originally voted on. Okay. Mr. Schmidt on this? All right.
It would seem to me, it would be easier just to do that, because we're going back and forth here. If we don't want to, let's look at the agenda and vote up or down. We're at slim margins now, so I don't see why we're doing all this, really. Let's just do the agenda and let it fall where it may.
So let's go ahead and vote on, well, Mr. Hyde? On the amendment here?
Not on the amendment.
Okay, we'll keep it in queue. Mr. Roger, on this amendment? Well, Mr. Hyde's gonna, yeah, we're good right now. Let's go ahead and vote. This is on Mr. Shov's amendment to amend Mr. Wynn's motion, and this takes it back to the original vote that we had.
Each commissioner record your vote.
Okay, so that passes. So now we're going to vote on the agenda. Let's put that on the board.
Each commissioner record your vote.
Perfect. See, that went very smooth. Yeah. Mr. Hyde, you want, you're in the queue still. Do you want to speak now?
I think I do. I would like to make a motion that we return our checks to the county this month. And I say that sincerely. We are elected from all over the county and come here to Gallatin to do county business once a month. And we've set history here tonight. This is the first time in my many years here on the county commission that we can't set a full agenda, a business that needs to be looked into. I'm disappointed. I mean, that's just me. Anyone else can say what they want to, but I'm disappointed. And I would just say that I would like to have the checks returned this month.
Quit interrupting me, okay? I will call on you when it's time to call on you. I heard you 4 times. What is your point? We just approved the agenda. Item number 7, or about to be. No, I called on him, but thank you for that. All right, let's move on here. All right, we're on item number 7, the approval of the consent agenda, 2512. Is there a motion? There's a second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hey, that passes unanimously. All right, approval of the minutes, motion, and a second. No one in the queue. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Show that's unanimous. All right. Liberty Creek, no one reached out to them to let them know that they were on the agenda, so I don't know if that was on me or not. Yeah, I've already pushed that off, but thanks, yeah. There is, so now we were on the recognition of the public. Mrs. Mary Cole, I'd like to speak on term limits. Did that get enough votes? Okay, sorry. That's my bad. Yeah, you tried. Here you go. That wasn't on there. All right, sorry about that. Report of the chair. Let's get moving here. Veteran service reports attached. Docketing of financial statement memo. The public notice, again, item 3 and 4. We already, as when we amended or when we approved the agenda, we moved that under the commissioner announcements. I'll do that at that point in time. There is an announcement, I don't know who, but there are a couple of commissioners that still need to provide their beneficiary form to payroll. There's time limits. I think there's like 2 or 3. Ms. Browning, do you know? Oh, 4 have turned them in? Oh, okay. So a lot of you haven't done that? Yeah. All right. Moving on. Okay. All right. There's a question, do we have to fill it out? I asked Ms. Langley, she says we do, so I filled it out.
Or if something happened to you,
Can you put your mic on, please? Or can you turn her mic on? Okay, yeah, if you can speak into it.
so this is if something happened to you and you were still due a paycheck, then we need to know who to send it to.
Yeah. They don't require your social security number. So you can fill it out without your social security numbers. All right, let's move on here. All right. Report of the written reports. Let's put the notaries on the board. 25, is there a motion? Motion and a second. Let's put that on the board. Notaries.
Each commissioner record your vote.
I don't know. Okay, good. All right, report of standing committees, Health and Emergency Services.
So Health and Emergency Services, 2512-10, ratify prior execution of MOU with Volunteer Behavioral Healthcare System. This is just a MOU between us and them, no money, no exchange. It's just allowing them to use our services. And with that, I so move.
Motion and a second. No one in the queue. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So that's unanimous. Thank you, sir. Education? No report. Highway? No report. General Ops, Mr. Harris.
Mr. Chairman, a resolution authorizing a monument to be placed of Jethro Sumner at the new courthouse. So
Okay.
moved.
There's a motion and a second. Ms. Janon.
Yes, sir. So, I'm not opposed to put a memorial out there for Mr. Jethro. As I told the mayor, that is the most ugliest looking monument that he gave us. I thought it was ugly. And it's pointy, and I think it looks very out of proportion to the building of the courthouse. I would like to see something more square like they have in some of the Civil War encampments where you can, the memorials. I just don't like the pointy monument. I think it looks horrible. And I've already told the mayor I didn't like it. So I'm all for it, but not that one.
Okay, appreciate that. Let's, Mr. Jones.
To my fellow commissioners' point, no pun intended, is this a vote for a memorial or that memorial? And perhaps what she said could be considered in the design as it comes about, and we just vote to approve this as a memorial. Are we voting on that memorial?
Fair question. Mr. Harris, can you speak to that?
I'll yield to the county
Mayor. Mr. Mayor, can you speak to that?
Yeah, this memorial is being designed by the American 250 Project. What the question before this body is permission to put it on the property, not to critique the design.
Okay. So to answer the question, is the design is already, is the design is not under our authority or whatnot? It's just yes or no? Okay. Mr. Schoaf?
Because we're so tight here, I'd be fine to send it forward, but if this will help, I will offer an amendment to make this contingent on that we are allowing, that this is contingent on, final approval of a design by the county commission. That's my amendment.
So there's an amendment to add a contingency that the design will be approved by the county commission, and a second. Mr. Jones, on this amendment? No? Let's put that on the board. So this is a yes would be to add the contingency that the design would have to be approved.
Each commissioner record your vote.
Okay, that didn't pass. Mr. Jones?
There was a question that came up in general operations that the mayor was asked to come with an answer for this meeting just before the vote happened, and I just wondered if he had time to do that.
Okay. County Mayor, can you speak to that?
Be happy to. So the questions posed by the commissioner from 23rd District was, does the state chapter allow black people to be involved in the chapter? And the second question, does the local chapter have transgender people in the chapter? So I want to answer that question one is yes, question no is no, or question two is no. And I want to go ahead and give a narrative because I received a lot of comments from the DAR and other citizens that wanted me to talk about this organization for just a moment. So if that will be okay, I want to talk about the chapter level impact of the service to Sumner County and beyond by the Jethro Sumner chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution. They have an extraordinary record of service, patriotism, and community leadership, having served the community since 1931. Just a highlight of some of their accomplishments, since obviously I will not read everything since 1931. But they sponsored a Vietnam Veterans Forum at Volunteer State Community College. They have provided financial support for the Honor Flight Program, Reese Across America, Sumner County Veterans Home, and the VFW. They partner with Fort Campbell by donating needed supplies and assembling gift baskets for Army nurses and medical professionals. They have sent care packages to deployed service members in Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq, and Japan. They've honored local high school seniors entering the military, recognized by American Legion Post 17 for their ongoing support of Sumner County veterans, participated in parades, hosted appreciation meals, etc. Historic preservation. They placed and dedicated markers honoring Revolutionary War patriots, including Anthony and Isaac Bledsoe, Hugh Rogan, James Franklin, George Dawson Blackmore, Thomas Sharp Spencer, Thomas Cotton, Zacchaeus Wilson, David Wilson, Joseph Wallace, and David Shelby, Stephen Foster, David Beard, Alexander Dobbins, and many more. They have worked on numerous historical cemeteries. They was involved in a project with our archives building that cleaned over 10,000 historical images and documents for the archives for all the citizens. They played a major role in creating the award-winning state book, Patriots to Pioneers, in which over 500 copies were donated to schools, libraries, and museums. And that book also happens to include one of my cousins as a Revolutionary War hero.
And Mr. Mayor, with all respect,
well, with all due respect,
I
I really want to.
Hold on one second. Did he answer your question?
Partially, but he framed my questions out of context too, so I don't mind if he finishes as long as you give me the time to clarify my questions as to why I asked.
Fair enough. Okay.
I would like the commissioner from 23rd to please state his question to me directly, if I've misconstrued his questions.
All right. you can, I'll allow you to restate your questions.
There was context.
Directly to, yes.
There was context to my questions in the meeting, and I wanted to make sure that those were clearly understood, because on the surface, you could take my question either way, and I want the public to understand why I asked the question. There are chapters of the DAR in the nation that do allow transgender members. I was going to make sure that ours does not. I found out that the reason for that was because some states allow you to alter your birth certificate, and our state does not allow you to alter birth certificates, so they go by what you were assigned at birth here in Tennessee. So that satisfied that question. The question about black people was, I wanted to make sure that ours does allow black people in it, because there are some chapters that did not start allowing black people until 1979 in the DAR. So I wanted that clarified, and I found out through my own research that ours does not exclude black people. So that made me happy to hear that, because I have black family members. I wanted to make sure that was not the case. And so I wanted to make sure that he got to the same conclusion that I did through the research I did with my members. I thought maybe he had higher officers that he could ask that question to, but it sounds like he did, so I'm satisfied with all of that. And then there was a third question that was posed, that if the DAR's name's not going to be anywhere on this monument, then it really didn't matter for my questions, because it was just an idea brought forth by them, that it wasn't actually owned by them or paid for by them. So, and I heard that that was not the case either. So it doesn't matter. He can keep talking about them. I think they're a good organization. That's fine.
Okay. Okay, well, good. So it's, okay.
I'm satisfied.
So your answer, your questions were answered.
I'll vote to support it, and I'm fine with it.
All right. So with that being the case.
Well, Mr. Chairman, for the third question, it has not yet been determined whose name's going to be on there. If we're going to include the America 250 Committee, if we're going to include the commissioners for the county, we've not decided that yet.
Okay. Well, that bid failed, that amendment failed to pass. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Schoaf.
I'm probably going to echo some similar sentiments to Mr. Hyde from earlier, and it's the DAR is a good organization. If we want to go back and find stuff that people have done 100 years ago, I mean, and argue about that a week and a half before Christmas in order to prevent somebody from putting a plaque up. There's no money being allocated here. They're not asking for anything. I made the amendment earlier just because I was hoping we could get something through. I really hope we can just do the simplest of things and allow an organization to put something up when they're not asking for any funding whatsoever.
Okay. Let's put this on the board. So this is the, was there, who made the original motion? I know we got a motion in a second, because, okay, all right. All right, so let's put this one on the board.
Each commissioner records your vote.
Okay, that passes. Mr. Harris, anything else? All right. Committee on Committees. I know Ms. Bergdorf's out. I don't know who's. Is there any report from that committee? Okay. All right. Legislative, Mr. Harrison.
Chairman, item number 2512-12, resolution for the memorandum of understanding or agreement with the city of Galvin on this fast track water infrastructure grant. This is the $12 million that the state approved for additional funding.
Okay. I did a bad job on the microphone there. So there's a motion and a second on the funding for the water. No one in the queue. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, hold on a second. Mr. Jones, is there a question?
Yeah.
This is pass-through funding that will supply water to Portland.
Yeah, it's kind of a point of information to the budget chair. This is the same project that we voted against 2 years ago or we tried to put restrictions on growth for. I don't know if you heard me or not, but it's for the budget chairman. Is this the same project that we voted against a couple years ago? We've tried to put restrictions on it to try to limit the amount of growth that they could have on it, and they decided to go it their own way with that because they did not want restrictions on it. The commission stopped it because we wanted only current residents to benefit from this and not have them use this for future growth. It seems like that's exactly what's happening, and I want to make sure that this is the same project that we voted down a couple years ago.
Mr. Mayor, we'd like to speak on that one.
Well, my question was to Commissioner
You need a
Shove.
question to the chairman, but I'll ask Mr. Mayor, and then I'll ask the budget chairman as well. But
Thank
Mr. Mayor, you want to speak on that, or you want Mr. Shove?
Yeah, this is to complete the project that has already been started. They came up short in money on the project, and we were able to secure a fast-track grant to complete that in the amount of $12 million. So it is the same
anything
project.
else to add on that? Can you put Mr.? Yeah, can you add as Mr. Shove?
So the answer to that is yes, because there were some other context about the history of it, and I was actually the person who proposed the restrictions on it, and I was fine with the restrictions. But at this point, this project is going, and if you pull this, and there are things I don't like about this, right? Like getting this at the last minute and being asked to vote for it. I don't like that at all. There are a lot of things I don't like about this. But sometimes you've got a thing in front of you, and you've got a choice of bad options. And when at this particular juncture, the choice is we approve it, and it continues, and we can complete the project. Yes, I would have liked to have restrictions on it, but that didn't happen. I also want folks to have water. We don't always get our way. The second thing is that the other option that we have is to deny it, and then we lose the grant, and then the either somewhere between the county or the joint cities have to come up with funding for it. So it's a choice of poor options. I wish we had more time on it. I don't like that this is dropped in our lap very quickly. There are a lot of reasons to be unhappy with it, but at the end of the day, I don't want to. We've committed to a project, and I don't want to see that gone. So,
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mansfield.
I was glad to hear the answer to that, that this is a continuation of the July 2023 waterline grant that we approved with the two amendments. One was for a 5-year moratorium on annexation of unincorporated areas by the cities participating in this, and the other one was for basically to have a kind of a task force to get together on impact fees at the time. But my understanding is, based on memory in the minutes, is that the county did not facilitate this grant. The city of Gallatin took it on, and the county has not been involved with this process at all. So I was surprised to see this come back before the county as far as a facilitator for the money, because last time we were told if the county commission didn't approve it, that we would lose the money. And then, a day or two later, Gallatin picks it up and ran with a grant. So I don't quite understand that logic. It's a little bit of a disconnect to me because it wasn't true then, so I don't understand how it would be true now. I wish Commissioner Klein was here because I went back and watched our budget committee and saw that he voted no on this during budget. And I was trying to ask him some questions, and I did take some notes. He said he wasn't going to be here tonight. And it's my understanding that after this money, I guess the city of Gallatin, Portland, and Westmoreland chose not to use the county to facilitate the grant of $20 million. They bypassed us. That the Portland mayor did come to the city of Gallatin meetings between the Gallatin Utility District, Castilian Springs and Bethpage Water Utility in Westmoreland. And then Portland mayor asked, after that money was approved, asked for an increase in the main line from 16 inches to 20 inches. And so that was basically to increase the capacity from 1 million gallons a day to 3 million gallons a day. And So instead of that 12-inch line to Portland, which was a part of the original plan, is my understanding, it increased to a 16-inch line. Is also my understanding that the Portland mayor promised that the city of Portland would actually pay for those increases and make up the difference at the time when they increased that water line size during those meetings. And so that was going to be about a $10 million shortfall. Evidently, the city of Portland wasn't able to come up with that money that after getting the lines to be increased. And the state did approve $12 million to pay for it instead. But now I feel like the county's been asked to be the middleman of this again, to distribute this money for what appears to be infrastructure for new development and new growth. This isn't for existing residents in Westmoreland and Portland and their water lines. This is for new growth. Actually, interestingly enough, there was a water line study back in 2023, the time we were doing this, that is from the state that projected the growth from the water lines that were approved 2.5 years ago. It projected a 32% growth increase in the cities as far as from these proposed water lines. And so it's problematic when people are saying that this is for people to get water to drink in Portland and Westmoreland, which is not true. It's for developers to get water to do more high-density residential development, and that's from even the state projecting that. So I don't, in this memorandum of agreement, I don't see anything about a timeline or a deadline that we're going to lose money, so I don't see that written here. I guess I want to know where that's coming from, because we were told that in July of 2023, and that was not true. I'm being told that again tonight. I don't believe it. And so I guess I would like to know where it says in writing that if the county commission does not approve this month, that this $12 million that's already been appropriated by the state just goes away. And what precludes the city of Gallatin from doing this on their own, since they went ahead and did that on their own back in 2023 and bypassed the commission, because we had passed a vote of 23-1. It's resolution 2307-11 for authorizing the county to apply for collaborative TDEC competitive ARPA grant for regional water improvements. And it had these two amendments in it that were kind of putting a check on growth. It's like, if you need this for existing residents, great, and that didn't turn out to be the case. So I don't see anything saying that we're in danger if this doesn't pass tonight. I don't see that. It's not in my packet.
If anyone can speak to that, if you can get into the queue.
There's no deadline, there's no nothing.
Okay. All right, if anyone can speak to that and get in the queue, I'll go to Mr. Jones. Do what? Well, it's not are you making an amendment?
I'm going to make an amendment.
Oh, I thought you just
I
clarifying why you're voting no. So you want to make an amendment?
Yeah, I do want to make an amendment.
Okay.
I basically want to bring in an amendment from that original resolution from July of 2023, but basically says, be it further resolved that the approval of the disbursement of grant funds by the county for this project shall be conditioned on the city's creating a minimum of a 5-year moratorium on annexation of unincorporated areas of the county for purpose of residential development. And that is my amendment to this grant document language. Furthermore, we have a letter from, because we were told that was going to stop the grant, which is not true. TDEC actually wrote a letter in July of 2023 that they said TDEC respects the desire of the Sumner County Commission to manage growth in a way that holistically considers environmental, financial, educational, and other potential resource strains. The resolution as passed by the Sumner County Commission does not appear to directly inhibit the ability of the county to meet these obligations. And so, based on what TDEC has said before of what we did, saying that there was nothing going to stop that grant from happening if we put that restriction on the cities, I would have to believe that the same would apply here from the state, that there's nothing going to stop this money from the state. It's not ARPA money. It is the state appropriating money. Again, I see no grant terms. I see no grant sheets. I see no dates, deadlines. I see nothing in this packet. And so I don't believe that this is going to fail today unless somebody can show me and prove that to me. But that's my amendment, is to add that language specifically.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Can you repeat the language for us, please? Well,
I'll repeat it, but also I'm going to, so you can look it up for the law director. It's Resolution 2307-11 from July 17th, 2023. And the language specifically says, be it further resolved that the approval of the disbursement of grant funds by the county for this project shall be conditioned on the city's creating a minimum of a 5-year moratorium on annexation of unincorporated areas of the county for purpose of residential development. That's my amendment.
Okay. All right. Mr. Jones on this amendment? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to remind everybody what Commissioner Mansfield just said. 23-1, we passed that. Most of you guys ran on controlled growth, and I would respectfully disagree with the budget chairman. This is another option, one that he did not mention. This is the perfect opportunity to control growth. Everybody that ran on that platform controlling growth, this is our one chance to do that. We could pass this tonight, and they would be forced to control growth at this point. They've already mentioned they got shovels in the ground, machines in the ground, pipe in the ground. They do this so this project stops. We have the power of the purse. That's all we have. This is taxpayer money, and people, you look at Hendersonville and Gallatin websites, I've seen them post things like nicest place to live, greatest city in the world, you know, all these nice little Facebook posts. They always get hijacked by people that comment on there. What about the traffic? What about the growth? What about all these high density units and stuff that are going in? You look at the Meta, what is Meta saying? What is Meta saying about this post? And the synopsis for the whole thing is people were complaining about the growth on something posted by the city. So your citizens are complaining. Remember why you got elected. Remember your door speeches when you went around and how many people were angry about growth. This is our opportunity. We can't charge impact fees. We can't, on our own, say no to annexation. But we can get the cities to agree to this if we make this an amendment. So I'll be supporting this.
Mr. Schoaf on this amendment?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I actually found my fellow commissioner's argument somewhat compelling here. And just to make notes, both in Budget Committee and I believe earlier today during the agenda, I asked if I think I asked you and the law director made some comments that this would have, that there is a timeliness issue that this needed to be passed by the end of the year, and that's why I pushed what I did. However, in the interim, I spoke with our interim finance director, and I would like to open the floor to her to speak to this because I believe she has some information. We may not be as under the gun on this as we think.
Okay, I'll let Ms. Browning give her the mic.
So this, Gallatin will be paying the state or paying the contractors for this. They submit those invoices to us after they're paid. We submit the request for reimbursement to the state, and once we receive those from the state, those funds, then we would reimburse Gallatin. This MOA allows us to reimburse Gallatin sooner. Without this, we can't reimburse them yet. We won't be filing the invoices with the state for reimbursement, and therefore we can't reimburse Gallatin for whatever they may pay the contractors.
So can I just maybe
Go ahead.
make some clarification here? So my understanding now is that the city of Gallatin is, per the previous execution of the project, is on the hook for payment. Is that, I'm just trying to get a series of yes or no questions here. Is that correct? Okay. And so what this is this is state funding, which will ultimately be routed to the city of Gallatin in order to reimburse them. So we're not actually stopping. Is it a true statement that this wouldn't stop any current work? Is that a true statement if this does not pass tonight?
Ms. Browning, the answer is yes, it would not stop?
Correct.
So the correct answer is it will not stop.
Okay, I think that's important, and I think I know how I'm going to vote on this amendment.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Mr. Nguyen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think, I know I said it multiple times before, but how you do something just as important as what you do. And so controlling growth, I know we've talked about how this isn't going to impact water, but leveraging people's drinking water to achieve anything, I think, is the wrong thing to do. What I do want to do, though, is make an amendment to the motion out there, is that this will be contingent upon Gallatin making payment on their reassessment, reappraisal fees.
Okay. All right. So here's an amendment to Mr. Mansfield's amendment. And this amendment would be, put a contingency on their, so those that may not know the backstory, there's fees associated with the reappraisal process. I don't say all, but I believe all the other counties have reimbursed, all the other cities have reimbursed the county for their portion of those fees, except for the city of Gallatin. City of Gallatin has not paid those fees. So this is what the amendment is. The amendment to the amendment is there a second? There was a second by Mr. Schoaf. Hold on real quick. If anyone, Mr. Wright, would you like to come join us? The walk of shame here. Just teasing. But let's go ahead and put this one on. Well, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so that was unanimous. All right, so now we're back to Mr. Mansfield's amendment about as he said, spoke a second ago. No one else in the queue. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, let's put that one on the board. So, but real quick before we put it on the board, Mr. Mansfield, can you repeat it one more time for everyone? So this is the amendment that's about to be voted on the board. Can you put him? I'm sorry, I guess I could have done that. There you go.
Yes, for the sake of our guests who have joined us for our meeting tonight. This is an amendment I made to this fast-track water line, and it's the same amendment that we had on the resolution back in July of 2023 when we were going to be a pass-through entity for the $20 million grant. This amendment or this resolution passed 23-1 in this body. So then my amendment was to say that be it further resolved that the approval of the disbursement of grant funds by the county for this project shall be conditioned on the cities creating a minimum of a 5-year moratorium on annexation of unincorporated areas of the county for purpose of residential development.
Okay. And then it was amended with the contingency of the city of Gallatin paying their reappraisal fees. So that's what we're voting on. We're putting on the board.
Each commissioner record your vote.
And that amendment failed.
Were all members voting?
Did anyone not vote who wished to vote? We got 17. Anyone not vote that wished to vote? Mr. Hyde, did you intend to no vote or not vote? Okay. So Mr. Hyde's vote on that was a yes, which made it 13 yeses. So the amendment does pass. The amended amendment passes. All right. So we're back on now. We're on the main motion. Mr. Nguyen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to make an amendment to remove the restrictions for the water side on that. I don't think holding water hostage in any way would be a good thing, unless I'm missing it, sir.
You're talking about the amendment that just passed?
Yeah.
We just voted on that to pass. So you will just need to vote in a negative on this next vote.
Gotcha. No, I agree with holding money for money, but I don't agree with
That's fair.
water for money.
Okay. Mr. Schoaf?
Yeah, I just want to be super clear. We just had a statement earlier that the execution of this project will continue. So we're not withholding any water from anybody. We are not withholding any water from anybody. We are not holding up a project. We just got those answers. What we are doing is, if the city of Gallatin wants this reimbursement faster, then we're asking them to come to the negotiating table. We are not holding up water. It will continue.
All right, thanks, sir. Let's put this on the board. So this is the main motion as amended.
Each commissioner record your vote.
All right, that one is unanimous. Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 2512-13, which is to set the meeting dates.
There's a motion and a second. Mr. Mansfield.
Well, I guess I would like to know, I mean, we tried to do this a couple years ago and it failed, but I guess, why is there a request for moving the meetings to 6 o'clock? I mean, I know that several of us are on the Resource Authority, and the meetings from 5 to 6, the fourth Monday, and there's at least 4 Mondays out of the year that this body meets on the fourth Monday of the year. So I'm opposed to this, but I mean, who brought this up, or why are we doing this, moving it to 6?
Well, this came through legislative.
The motion was made.
For tonight?
Yeah,
But that was, we voted on that last month.
I know, I voted against that too. So
Yeah.
So, but the precedent was set last month to do it 6 o'clock this month, when obviously there's a problem. We couldn't really have a quorum by doing that, so I think that was a mistake. And then I guess I have a problem with it, 6 o'clock being so early. Traffic's pretty bad. 7's a good time. We've always done it. Or even 6:30 would be better than 6, but I'm opposed to this, and I guess want to know why it's being moved to 6 o'clock. What's the motivation? Or is there, they just want to be here earlier and get out earlier? I mean, and that's fine.
I don't know. I mean, Mr. Harrison can speak to it if you would like. But
There was a motion second and legislative to set the time at 6 o'clock, and it passed unanimously.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you. If somebody
I mean,
wants to
I
amend
think-
it to 6:30, that's fine. We can vote on it.
Yeah, my opinion is, it's sometimes our meetings get longer into the night, and so 6 o'clock is a time that, other cities have their meetings and so forth, so 6 o'clock was deemed as something that it's not too late in the evening, it's not too early in the evening, so that was the information behind that.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, I cannot support this either. I was okay with it last month as a one-time thing. I didn't understand the reason, but I thought, what could it hurt one time? But I was nearly late getting here myself, leaving extra early, more early than usual, but the traffic coming into Gallatin is so bad this time of night. I think the citizens are going to have issues as well, so I can't support it as an ongoing thing. As a one-off here and there, that's fine, but not all the time. And
Okay.
especially without a reason. Nobody's giving a reason,
I think I just gave the reason, but
out of legislative, was that what was discussed? Because the chairman of legislative didn't offer that up. He just said there was a motion and a second. There was no reason given.
yeah. Well, I think I made the motion during legislative, so I was answering it. Yeah.
Gotcha. I didn't know that was you then. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Well, yeah, I can't support it for ongoing.
Okay. Mr. Rogers.
Well, I was just going to say, Mr. Chairman, that it's kind of nice getting in at 6 and maybe getting out by 9:30 or 10. There was some question in legislative about approaching it at 6:30. But it's amazing that I hear all these that I'm not going to support it, but no one's made a motion or an amendment to even go to a 6:30 time. So, but I like 6 o'clock, especially during the summertime. If we get out at 8:30, it might still be some daylight by the time we get home.
All right, appreciate you, sir. Mr. Teachner.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, I think the thing is, I love the idea of it. I think a lot of people would love the idea of it if everyone could make it, but it makes it difficult because traffic. Just me in particular, I work in Clarksville on Wednesdays. and on Mondays and Wednesdays. And so I think that what's difficult is there's a lot of folks that are in my district that don't get home until 5:30 because they work until 5 or 5:30, and so it takes them a little bit to get home. They're coming from Nashville. It makes it tough if they're going to make any food for their kiddos. There's a lot of reasons that citizens could be kept away from here. So I make an amendment that we change it to 7.
Okay, there's an amendment, amendment and a second to change the motion from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Struggling a little bit. All right. On this amendment, Mr. Wright, on this amendment? No. Ms. Janung, on this amendment? Maine, okay. Ms. Miller, this amendment? Can you hit Ms. Miller?
I'm in agreement with my fellow commissioner to keep it at 7. I am also on Resource Authority, and our Resource Authority meetings start at 5. There's probably 4 or 5 a year that fall on the same night as the commission meetings. And I don't know if you've ever tried to get from where Resource Authority is to here, but it takes quite a bit of time. And I mean, our meetings sometimes last an hour, hour and a half. So that would make, 3 of us late, and that's not really fair. So that would be the reason I would want to keep it at 7 as well. So I'll be supporting the amendment.
Okay, all right. No one else. Let's put this on the board. So this is the. Yes. So the resolution in your packet, it says 6 p.m. This amendment that we're voting on now is 7 p.m. Oh, I thought you were on. Okay. Mr. Jones, can you put Mr. Jones?
Just a question, just to keep it cleaner. If the original motion for 6 fails, is it just not stay at 7 anyway, rather than going through the amendment process?
Well, I think we need to vote on it one way or the other. We need to vote.
Well,
That's when we're setting the calendar. We need to vote on the dates and the times. Yeah.
no, I know, but we're going to vote on the amendment, then we're going to vote on the main, which is, I mean, if you vote on the main at 6 and it fails, it's going to stay at 7. That's all I was saying. Either way, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, we got to vote on dates and everything, but yeah. All right, let's put this on the board. So this is the amendment to change the resolution from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Each commissioner record your vote.
Okay, that fails. Mr. Wright?
I heard the comment that, from the chair, that a lot of the city, they have their meetings earlier. I don't live in the city. I live in the county. By the time I feed, get off my full-time job, get off work, I feed, take care of mom and dad. By the time I get a shower and get cleaned up, and y'all don't want me coming in here after I feed with the cows. But we need to have it 6:30 at the latest, folks. I'm willing to work with someone, and I'll split the difference even. But 6 o'clock is just pushing it too much.
Are you making an amendment for 6:30?
Sure.
Okay.
Second.
There's an amendment for 6:30 and a second. Mr. Nung, on this amendment?
Listen, I'm with him. I work full-time. I'm about the second oldest one on the commission, by the way, and I work full-time, and I get off late. I don't know what's going to happen in my job. And I drive home, I have a husband, and I have a family I have to take care of. I have to cook for my husband to get him ready for me to come here and do the people's work. When I got elected, the meetings were at 7, right? And I didn't go door knocking and say, oh, by the way, if I get tired or want to leave early, I'm going to change it to 6. You know? And so that's kind of, like I've said before, we're here to do the people's business. If we're here till midnight, too bad, so sad. But I'm with Mr. Wright. he's like me. He works very hard. And we do a really stressful work, like many of you probably do, and you have to drive in this damn traffic. I know it because I live in Gallatin, and that's another day. But I'm all for, if I have to live with 6:30, fine. But I thought 7 was doable for those of us that work full-time and have other obligations. Because I didn't get it, when I got elected, I didn't say, well, and we're going to change the time to whatever we want because we get tired. And we go to meetings, we won't go to a meeting if we're tired. We got the people's work to do, and we should be here on time and do the work that the people
Thank you,
elected us to do, and I appreciate you listening.
Appreciate it. I like your necklace, by the way.
Thanks.
Very, very festive. Let's put this on the board. So this is for 6:30 instead of 6. A yes vote is for 6:30. Okay, that fails. Mr. Nguyen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make an amendment. I want to set the meeting time at midnight.
I won't entertain that motion. Was that all you had?
I just wanted to give the people ample time to make it here
Okay.
and get through all the
All right.
traffic. And, we're all gung-ho about staying here all night. Well, let's put the money where the mouth is. Midnight, that's what we need to do.
That fails for lack of second. Mr. Jones.
I'd like to make a motion to divide the question. Let's just approve the meeting dates, and then we'll do the times in a minute here.
Yes. So there's an amendment here, or hold on a second. We've already got a main motion. Okay. If we got an amendment to split them.
You're bifurcating it, as long as it ends up with the same end resolution, you should be fine, as long as, but this is, there's only one more amendment.
Yeah. I'm just thinking procedurally how you do that.
I can read Robert's rules if you want me to on that.
Yeah, well, as an amendment, though. I'm fine with what we're doing here, just to do the dates and then the times. Okay. All right, so there's a motion or amendment here to do the dates by themselves and then the times. Is there a second?
Wait a second.
Okay. All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, show that's unanimous. So I guess that, Mr. Law Director, does that just truncate or
We're just down to the time.
we're just down to well, then we got to vote on the dates then. All right. So, Mr. Roger, on the dates by themselves? Okay. All right. So the dates, this is a vote just for the dates. Is there a motion for this?
Second.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so the dates are set. Now we're back to the times. The resolution has 6 o'clock. There's been a failed amendment for 7 and a failed amendment for 6:30. Okay, Mr. Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll make the motion to leave it as 7 as scheduled as now.
Okay, so there's a amendment here to reconsider or whatnot, 7 p.m. We never did 7? Oh, we did 6 and 7. Okay.
Correct.
So there's an amendment for 7 and a second. Mr. Jones, you'd like to speak to this?
Question for, I guess it's a point of order, because if this fails and the time slots, everything between 6 and 7 is failing, is going to be by default stick with what we have, 7? Seems like that's where we're headed. I'm okay with voting on this because I'm supporting this. You're in a quandary with reconsidering the 7 that failed already, but we're kind of about to run out of things, and it just goes to 7 by default.
Let's vote on this 7 one more time.
Okay.
Mr. Teacher, anything on this?
Call the question.
Okay, no one in the queue. Let's put this on the vote. This is for 7 o'clock, this amendment for 7 o'clock.
I love it.
So we need to vote on the main motion now. All right, now we're back to the main motion.
So
The-
moved.
The dates at 7, we've already done that. So all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Show that's unanimous. All right. Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution 2512-14, resolution approving an
Can you put him back on?
CC, and I so move.
This motion is second. No one in the queue. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Show that's unanimous. Mr. Harrison?
That's all, Mr. Chairman.
That's all. Thank you, sir. Mr. Schoaf, budget. Okay.
Call for a 5-minute recess.
All right. We'll do a 5-minute recess.
You look good with a beard. You do look good with a beard.
I was predicting we'd be out of here earlier. I mean, what's on the agenda that could be?
I think you look good with a beard.
Did y'all like that call the question? I don't call the question at all. Non-consequential.
Like last year. Whatever they want.
Because nobody was here, they were like the ones that don't do anything, and they're like, we need to do notaries and magistrates and this and that, and then they tried to go through almost every item and add it back up.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta watch a video.
That's hilarious.
Go ahead and call the meeting back to order. All right. We are on the Budget Committee, 2512-15. Mr. Schoaf.
Budget item number 1, I'm actually not sure we need to pass this, but it need to be through budget, but that's fine. This is authorized county mayor $5,000 for security fence at the Latimer Brown House. I so move.
There's a motion and a second. I just want to speak for clarity here. This should have gone through the Budget Committee last week. It didn't, but it did go through General Ops and was approved. But I went ahead and put this on the agenda accordingly. So if there's any questions on that, because it was not It was inadvertently not included on Budget Committee last week. Mr. Jones?
Was that the sole reason why the budget chair wanted to bring it back, just to hear all about it? Is he satisfied now with the reasons for allowing it to stay on the agenda?
Mr. Schoaf, do you have any?
At the end of the day, I am somewhat, if you're asking my personal opinion, I'm somewhat agnostic on this amount and what this is. I guess I don't have a huge opinion on it. I'll probably vote for it, but it's, I don't know that I need to be totally satisfied on this one.
Okay. I might ask Chairman of General Ops to maybe sort of explain, or you were absent. Maybe Mr. Nguyen, can you give us a background of the reason that this is before us?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the backstory on this one, the ad hoc committee had expressed some concern about security at the Brown House. A security fence was discussed. During the report of the ad hoc, the security fencing was discussed. A motion was made in general operations to go ahead and approve up to $5,000 for security fencing to be placed around that structure, just so that we can make sure that we're secured and those concerns are addressed and we're covered from a security standpoint.
Appreciate that. Mr. Jones, I accidentally got you out of the queue. Can you push your button or put Mr. Jones in the red? Can you put him in the red? Okay.
My only other thing that I'd say to that is I'd like the language just to reflect that we passed up to $5,000, not just $5,000. The language on this is just slightly wrong.
No, it's in the packet correctly. It does say up to, but yes, you're right.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we did change that. Thank you. Mr. Teachner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just would like to know what parties will have access to this house, this home place, once this security structure is in place.
Mr. Nguyen, can you speak to that? Can you put him in the, go ahead.
Yeah, I would assume the parties that have access today would be no change.
Yeah, this isn't like locking anybody of authority or whatnot out of. This is just for safety. I think it's been broken into, and so there's a fence that will hopefully prohibit some of that. So let me go ahead, Mr. Teacher.
I appreciate and understand just the, I assume, but that's just what gets worrisome whenever government starts jumping in and doing things. What does that look like? I know that's what my citizens who live in that whole area will want to know. Who is being locked out, and is it truly just for that reason?
Fair
or is
enough.
there an ulterior motive? That's exactly what's going to be asked if they were here tonight. So.
Mr. Nguyen, can you answer a question for me, please? Did the ad hoc committee ask for this, or the general operations ask for this?
So it came from the ad hoc as a request, and then general operations picked it up. And
all right. So just to remind everyone, backstory: the ad hoc committee we have on here is the largest committee in the history of Sumner County government. So just as information there, Mr. Mansfield.
Just to answer fellow commissioner's question, I know that the project manager in finance has access to the house now. I assume that he would hope to have the same access if it's a chain fence with a lock on it or something, the same kind of access. The same people who have, I assume the school's custodian and grounds probably have access to the lock as well, since they, and I assume the county mayor's department has access to that as well. So to answer the question, if there's a chain link fence with a lock, this would be no different than the chain link, the lock that's on the house. The same people would have the same access.
Yes.
But I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
I don't think
Thank you,
anybody
sir.
would dispute that.
Yeah, no disputes. All right. So let's go voice vote here. This all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so that's unanimous. Mr. Schoaf.
All righty. Item number 2512-16 is authorization of $41,159 for the transfer of funds for Highway Department, and I want to give a little, I move, and I'd like to get in queue.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Okay,
Motion and a second. Mr. Schoaf.
I'd just like to explain this a little bit, because there's a little bit of history here. This appropriation originally came, this transfer originally came through budget 2 months ago, and it was a transfer from a non-recurring item, a non-salary, non-recurring line item to a salary line item, which is a no-no. We voted that down in budget. I spoke with our highway superintendent and directed him to, asked him to go back and rework this with, one, to make sure that the appropriations came salary item to salary item, and two, that it was, that it incorporated a fully wrapped rate with all of the benefits, et cetera. That happened, and the appropriation was changed. So this new appropriation is salary to salary, and it is inclusive of, it includes the fully wrapped rate. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that, and I would also note that just in interest of fairness, that we have typically approved similar type of transfers for other departments, so long as they are true salary to salary.
Yeah, and there's one thing to add, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this does not impact his MOE
This
at all.
does not, and I just to make sure that we hear this on the floor as well, could we get our interim finance director to state that as well.
Ms. Browning, can you answer that question or confirm or deny that this would not impact his MOE?
That's correct.
So that's correct. So no impact on that. Anything else, Mr. Schoaf?
No, sir.
Okay. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? So that passes unanimously. Mr. Schoaf.
This is appropriation of $724,685.13 for the builder out of courtroom 5C. I so move.
There's a motion and a second. No one in the queue. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. I'm showing one no. Okay. Got Mr. Harrison and Mr. Harris as a no. Everyone else is a yes, so that passes 15-2.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So 2512-18.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so this is for the ambulance. All in favor say aye.
I'd like to get in queue on this. I'd like
okay.
to alter this. There was some discussion. I'd like to make an amendment. There was some discussion in budget, and sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm wrong, but in this case, I believe I was correct. I'd like to amend this so that it comes out of capital. I made this amendment in budget, and at the time, our interim finance director did not think we could do that, but after further investigation, because of the nature of this purchase, it can come from capital, so I would like to amend it to come out of capital.
Okay, there's a motion and a second for an amendment to.
I'll accept that as part of my motion.
Okay. So the maker of the original motion here.
I was the second, so I'm good with that as well.
Okay, motion and the second. Okay. Mr. Jones?
Just a point of information. You said because of the nature of this purchase, does it matter if it's a repair or a purchase, or just, could you explain a little bit about what the purchase or what the repair is too? That's just a lot of money. I was looking for it in here and I can't find it yet, but.
I can answer
Mr.
that.
Schoaf, go ahead.
So this is a replacement of a chassis for a vehicle. So this is not kind of routine maintenance. It is a replacement of a chassis, expendable, non-recurring. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
It's a capital thing. It's not a routine recurring thing.
So I do have a question for the finance director. If it comes out of capital, just a backstory here too, the accident was not our fault. So in theory, we're going to get reimbursed, or we're going to get reimbursed. My question is to the finance director, is there any difference from a reimbursement standpoint that we get reimbursed to the capital or reimbursed to, there's no difference whatsoever? She's shaking her head that there's no difference whatsoever. Okay. Okay. No one else in the queue? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Show that's unanimous. Mr. Schoaf?
Item number 2512-19 is...
It's a motion and a second. This, again, to clarify from earlier comment, this is not removing this funding. It's removing a duplicate entry. No one in the queue. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Show that's unanimous. Mr. Schoaf?
Item 2512-...
It's a motion and a second for the distribution for nonprofit charities. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Show that's unanimous.
Item 2512-21 is approve a multi-year agreement with the Tri-County Electric for the Westmoreland EMS. I so move.
It's a motion and a second. No one in the queue. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, sir. Anything else? Okay. Financial management. Okay, there is a motion on this docketing and emergency POs. There's a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? So that's unanimous. Is there any non-agenda items? Is there? You would like to speak on the term limits, ma'am? Okay. And for those that are watching from home, we're under commissioner announcements. We're going to be doing the public notice for my report of the chair, so don't get too antsy. But yes, ma'am, you can come up. You'll have 3 minutes. You can state your name and your address, and then there'll be like a clock up on that TV you can follow, I think. Can you turn that on?
Hello, my name's Mary Cole, and I live at 514 Crowley Lane in Gallatin. And I'm taking a few extra minutes to bring this to your attention again about the term limits and the need for them. They were needed at the national level, and we saw things that would not have happened if there had been term limits in place, and this is something we need to get in place at our local levels. It's well known that a lot of people want this, so I'm not sure that I understand the opposition. I would think it would be a chance for you to implement something that a lot of people want, and understand this is even just for the right to have citizens vote on it. It's not even the actual term limits. So I just want to bring this to your attention again, and I really don't understand all of the opposition for it. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Okay, moving on. Commissioner announcements. I will start off by pulling up this public notice under report of the chair, item 3. What do you do? You get up there and read? Okay.
There will be a public hearing at the Sumner County Board of County Commissioners meeting on Monday, December the 15th, 2025 at 7:00 p.m. related to proposed revisions of the county zoning resolution. This meeting shall be held at the Sumner County Administration Building in the County Commission Chambers located at 355 North Belvedere Drive, Gallatin, Tennessee. At this meeting, the Sumner County Board of County Commissioners will discuss and potentially vote on proposed revisions to the Sumner County zoning resolution as recommended by the Sumner County Regional Planning Commission. These proposed changes include the following: Planning Commission Resolution 2025-01, amending the requirements of Chapter 10, Section 1005 of the county zoning resolution provisions for flood hazard reduction related to raising base flood evaluation from 1 foot to 3 feet. The Sumner County Regional Planning Commission forwarded a positive recommendation related to this item on October 21st, 2025. The public is invited to attend. An opportunity for public comment will be provided. A copy of the proposed revisions is available for review in the Sumner County Planning and Engineering Department during regular business hours and is available on the Planning and Engineering Department's website. A copy of this notice is on file in the Sumner County Planning and Engineering Department in the Sumner County Administration Building located at 355 North Belvedere Drive, room 202, Gallatin, Tennessee. Anyone having any interest or desiring to ask questions concerning this is invited to attend this meeting or call 615-451-6097.
right, so there is so we're 2512-09. There's a motion and a second. Mr. Nguyen is in the queue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just like to know maybe a little bit more information. If it's somebody from the Planning Commission could just speak to, the rationale behind the change, so what the issue is, and what this actually does to address
Without
it.
objection, we'll suspend the rules and let Marshall come up here and speak or answer questions. Can you, okay.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, we have been discussing this for a while, and we just felt like our neighboring communities had this in place, and we felt like going from 1 foot to 3 foot would be just a better option.
It's my understanding, it is nothing retroactive, anything that's already in flight or already been approved.
It's just anything, if it goes in place, anything new coming in would have to comply with the 3 feet.
Okay. Mr. Nguyen, you want to go ahead?
So I hear that our neighboring counties have it, but I mean, outside of them just having it, is it going to solve flooding issues?
I think it provides a better, higher safety factor for building near the floodplain. Right now, it's 1 foot, and so we've had experiences where we've had a lot of rain, and while 1 foot is good, 3 feet would just be that much better. And so those houses built in those areas, there may be houses that comply with this new standard at 3 feet that might not flood as compared to the 1 foot.
Gotcha. Is that, so as we're approving things, are we typically approving things in flood zones?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, not a lot, but there are some things that, there is development allowed in the floodplain. And so this is just providing that extra safety to help prevent, future flooding.
Gotcha. And would this encourage further development?
No, I don't think it encourages. I think it'd go the other direction. I think it'd make it a little more costly to develop in the floodplain.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Mr. Jones?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one question. You did kind of say, does it do anything retroactively? What about for insurance things for people having to rebuild a home that has flooded or do any work on it? Does it retroactively affect them to where they have to raise something?
If there was a situation where a house flooded and they came back and had to get new permits to rebuild their house, they would have to comply.
Is there a percentage of destruction that they would have to look at?
50%. If the
So
home,
50% of the
if the home
value.
is damaged more than 50% of the home's value, if the cost of the repair is more than 50% of the home's value, then they have to comply with the new ordinance.
Which would effectively price them out of doing it, because raising a home would be astronomical, right?
I mean, people do it. I mean, there's people that have done it off of Liberty Law. I mean, there's people in the county that have raised their home.
Would insurance help them with that, since the codes changed and they had no, I don't want them to have no recourse. Would insurance help with that?
If they had flood insurance, they're being reimbursed by FEMA for the damage.
How many people have flood insurance, though? Is that an option?
Anyone can get flooded.
Is that just an option? It's not required in floodplains?
Typically, if you have a mortgage and your house is in the floodplain, you're required to get flood insurance.
So most of those people then would be covered, if not all?
That's right.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Mr. Harrison?
Yes, sir. Just a further clarification. You're only required if you have a loan on the property. To get financing, you have to have flood insurance on that property before you can close. That's the law. Now, it's advised, certainly, that if you are building in a floodplain, that you would want to procure flood insurance, but it is not required by law unless it's financed. Because I do that for a living. So.
Appreciate it. Mr. Teachner?
One more thing, Mr. Chairman. I'm just going to make sure, because I think that the commissioner from the 23rd District had some great questions. And I believe that even if there is flood insurance, that it's only up to the amount of money that is on that property, that structure, to rebuild it. So if they are underinsured, I think please correct me if I'm wrong, but if they're underinsured and it costs, $50,000 more or whatever to raise that home, then they would have to come up with that some other way or build a smaller home, I believe. Please speak to that just to make sure. I don't want to be wrong. I'm not an expert on that.
I'm sorry, I don't know the ins and outs of the insurance, but I know FEMA, there are FEMA programs. When you do the hazard mitigation grant, there are programs that offer assistance to homeowners to raise their house or remove it entirely and tear it down. But from the insurance standpoint, I don't know exactly how that works. Yeah.
All right. Mr. Wright?
Many of you will remember the flood in 2010, May of 2010. I remember it well. That extra 2 foot would have made a huge difference during that flood. So this is a good thing, folks, a very good thing, something that we have needed, I truly believe, for a while. Thank you.
Mr. Harrison?
Yes, sir. Just one more further clarification, just in case anybody needs to know this. If that house is financed, the maximum amount of flood insurance that you can get on that property is only $250,000. That's the maximum that we can require. If you, as a homeowner, want to put more on there, you're welcome to do so. But the financial institution cannot require past that. So if it's a residential structure, commercial property is $500,000.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Jones?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm for this. I think the good outweighs the bad, but I just want to make sure that there's not any unforeseen things happening in the long run for people that aren't aware that the standards changed. Is there going to be any kind of information go out, notification of local insurance companies or to where they can notify their homeowners that they may want to get more insurance? Because the cost of replacing or repairing their house just went up because of this new standard. What kind of notifications are going to go out about this so that people don't get blindsided with the standard change? It's been this standard for X amount of years and they had no clue. Can you speak to that a little bit?
A little bit. We have, of course, on our website, it kind of speak to the damage to houses. I've been here for 4 years, and I have not, there's been houses damaged by floods, several, but it's very hard to trigger that 50%.
Okay.
Because the homes, like a lot of times the home's value is so high, it can't get to that threshold.
Okay.
And so, like I say, it hasn't happened yet. Not to say it won't, but.
That satisfies me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Nunn?
Thank you. I have flood insurance. I have flood insurance on 2 homes. And you're right, $250,000 is the most that you can get out of FEMA if you get anything out of them, okay? Because I've never gotten $1 out of them. However, I agree with the fact that they need to build higher because I have a house on stilts. I was flooded with Hurricane Helene at 9 feet under my house. And it destroyed a lot of things under the house, but it did not destroy the house. The actual structure of the house was protected because we were on stilts. Now, if any of you ever crawl under a house, I have crawled under many, in a crawl space, a lot of times when you have a low crawl space, you get a lot of moisture that gets mold and mildew under the house. If you're in a floodplain, you're going to have total mold under there. So in order to, as far as he said, safety, that's the biggest thing, is safety comes first. So I realize there are people that are built low and some are built on slab on ground, which I don't like slab on ground. I think it's a terrible way to build. But I'm in favor of this only because I've been through it with flood. And our property in Gallatin during that flood that Terry was talking about was total, our whole building, the whole basement filled with water in the Gallatin. So it's a very important thing. if you're going to live in a flood zone, number one, get flood insurance. It's not that expensive. And number two, build your house up high.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, no one else is in the queue, so I'll bring us, thank you, sir. I'll bring us back into order here. So there's already been a motion and a second. No one else in the queue. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Show that's unanimous. We're back under commissioner announcements. Or any, Ms. Janung, you're in the queue.
Yes. I have a very important announcement, and you will be very proud. On January the 27th, at this building, the Opioid Abatement Committee is being recognized by the state as as the best opioid abatement program in the state, and our grant manager, Dr. Owens. And I would encourage everybody. It's in the morning at 8:30. I personally cannot come. I promised my husband I'd take him on a vacation for his birthday.
What date is that?
The 27th of January?
Would you know what day of the week?
No.
Okay, but the 27th of January?
Yeah, and
Tuesday.
I'll kind of tell you later again about it. But I want you all to be very excited about it because this is so important because we have done so much work with these 501Cs, and I know you all want to go home, but too bad. It is important because they're doing the work of saving lives, and we have an overdose problem in our communities, and we need to fix it. And so I want to say I'm so proud of our committee, and I'm proud of our county for the way we appropriated, and it is just great. And I want to thank everybody for
Thank you, ma'am.
supporting it.
No one else is in the queue. Motion to adjourn.